opportunity. Oh, sorry. I wanted to make sure this up here. I hope you don't mind, but I'm still living with a little bit of jet lag fog, so I'm going to use my notes. Can I get you? So everyone had a great forum so far, and everyone had a wonderful progress. I have been to conferences all over the world, and let me tell you, I am so impressed. I am so impressed. This is my very first AWAG, and so I'm even more honored to get an opportunity to speak to all of you. Can we all give the AWAG Buckbog a big hand for this amazing so much in all the sessions. Again, thank you. I'd like to speak to you a little bit about what I call the leadership attitude. Also the name of my book. I know I've been doing it all week long. You've been learning all great insight on how to change your attitudes, right? Well, that's also what my book is all about. My journey through leadership and how I changed my leadership attitude. As a retired military spouse, 31 years, 22 moves myself, I learned all about formal and informal leadership within the military culture. But I also put that to use in my corporate career as well. Leadership should always be about servanthood. And as a leader, you are there to serve and not to be served. That's the attitude I'm talking about. Servant leaders are there to make things better, not just get them done. My experience as a military spouse with informal leadership served me well to learn true servant leadership in my formal leadership roles. Leadership attitudes can shift throughout your careers and your life. Most of us are and have been in leadership roles, even as an informal leader, supporting the battalion deployment efforts in the SFRG, supporting your children's school initiatives, or even supporting your local chapel's needs as a leader. Informal leaders use their influence to support and make changes in people's attitudes and situations, the leadership attitude. The military member took an oath and said, yes, I will serve. But the spouse also took an informal oath and said, yes, I will support. Just saying yes is a powerful tool, and it served me well throughout my career, and I know it serves you well as also. Informal leaders use their influence by saying yes, and then supporting the mission in whatever fashion is needed. Now you notice I use the word mission, and that might not be the military mission. It could be your child's school mission, your volunteer group's mission, or just maybe even your organization's mission. Our mission at PCI is to support people and organizations in whatever fashion is needed in whatever situation. We just say yes, and then we figure out the specifics beside it after we decide on the opportunity. Throughout my book, The Leadership Attitude, I talk about the concept of influence. Informal leadership uses formal leadership versus formal leadership in just saying yes. So what are some of the requests that you just say yes to, and don't even think of them as a way that it will serve you later in your personal career? For me, some of those include my spouse was not planning on going into the military. He basically just came and said, hey, let's go join the military and see the world for 6 years and come home. And I thought that would be a great idea, so I said, yes, let's do that. 31 years later, we came home. I didn't plan to work full-time for the 1-year residency course at Leavenworth, but the opportunity presented itself, and I just said yes. And that was the start of my accounting career. I didn't plan to work with PCS to Germany. The offer came from a big organization, and it led me to my international shift in my career. During that time, my spouse was deployed for a year, and we had 3 children under the age of 10. Sound familiar? During battalion command, didn't plan to say yes to full-time employment, but again, another position came up. So I said yes, and we made it work, juggling family, command, and career. Now, I was fortunate to have opportunities, but so do you. It's easy to look at a position and say, oh, I can't do that. I have other responsibilities, I have family, I have the military, I have whatever that might be, but I would tell you to take a chance on that opportunity. Employers want to work with military spouses and are willing to work around schedules, needs, and flexibility. The military workforce brings a fresh, out-of-the-box thinking that doesn't exist in corporate America, where we make a decision, usually quickly because the decision has to be made, even if we're not the leader. Corporate America always hesitates to make decisions and to find the possible to the impossible scenario. But that is what the military members and their spouses have been doing for more than 200 years, and we're pretty good at it. Next. So what's next for you and your family? Always look at the post, the base, the next step, the next challenge as an opportunity. If you're willing to think outside the box and tell a potential employer why you're the best fit for the opportunity, they will listen. But you will need to learn to sell yourself. No more just a volunteer, just a mom mentality. All those positions were jobs with great skill enhancements. Look forward to that next step and know that you have the attitude to take on any challenge that you're faced with and equipped with the influence skills to make a difference in a new organization. At PZI, we're 85% veteran and military spouse employed, and currently we have about 300 employees over 20 countries. I know what military spouses and veterans bring to the table, and they are a great fit for our organization and other ones as well. And I know lots of them, so please come see me. Next. How do you have the confidence to take the lead to sink or swim? How do you have the faith to face the unknown and turn lemons into lemonade? That's a wonderful gift to have, and it's a gift that as a military community we excel at. For me, my Christian faith has been the turning stone and given me the courage to take on some pretty big challenges over the last decade. Each of us has to determine what it is that gives us the courage to do something that hasn't been done before, or just open a door that you don't know exactly what's going to be on the other side, but you've got the faith to know that it will be good for you and for those you love. That's it. If you haven't had a chance to take this leadership assessment yet, I know everyone here has their phone. Take it out and download this. It's only 10 questions and it will take you no more than 10 minutes. It will give you information on your influencing style, and it's a starting point for determining what your attitude and influenceability might be. From this, you can start to see what you're doing really good, really well, and keep growing, or where you could use some work and make some changes. Your results are confidential and are given back to you immediately. I'd be amiss if I didn't plug my book, published by Forbes Advantage Books, about my leadership journey and the changes I made to my leadership style after 20 plus years in a corporate world. This was another one of those opportunities that I wasn't planning on. I thought maybe one day I would write a book, but was my story really that interesting? Forbes Advantage Books came looking for me. They sent me several emails, and frankly, I ignored them for almost 2 years. I mean, who would want to write a book about me? But because I was one of 4 female executives in a $20 billion a year organization with 45,000 employees in Korea, they wanted that story. That's what I thought the story would be about, but it wasn't. The story took a different turn after I started writing it. Neither I or Forbes were expecting it during the writing, after I said yes to the opportunity. And Rusty Sheldon, who's also the publisher for Chicken Soup for the Soul, knew the turn was inspired and felt that the timing was right for telling my leadership journey story. I hope if you do read it, it is coming out on audiobooks, by the way, in about 4 weeks. You'll find it informative and learn a few things in it as well. And if you don't mind, I would like to read something that I'd forgotten about, that is in the afterwards, the acknowledgments in my book, for you. To my fellow military spouses, active, sorry, it's silly to get worked up about your own words, isn't it? To my fellow military spouses, active and retired, you have always been my sisters and brothers throughout most of my adult life. Seeing your inspirational, it's the first time I've seen my books, guys. Seeing your inspirational, spiritual, and determined way of tackling life in some of the most difficult and stressful situations has made me the woman I am today. Your faith in God has always shone through because He was the one constant in many of our lives, no matter where we lived or worked or the situations we had to endure. While the rest of the world slept soundly at night, we were the ones standing by our soldiers, our airmen, our sailors, and our Marines, understanding that the mission must come first, and we accepted it with the grace that God affords us every day. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you, and keep leveling up.
back. Deborah McGee, come back, come back. Come back and stand by me. Thank you for being a part of our story and ending the 68th Annual Leadership Professional Development Seminar and being a part of all of our journeys. I think whether we are in this room with a veteran, a spouse, an active duty service member on permissive TDY, whatever your status is, maybe you're a local national just affiliated with the military in your community, we are all come together, we are all just a little page in everyone's story. So thank you for reminding us the importance and the power of that. On behalf of the AWAG Board of Governors, I would like to present you with the military tradition of the AWAG coin and certificate. And now,